Hi there guys, and welcome to Jonesy's review of 2013. I'm going to have two parts of this. I'm going to keep a small part of it for sort of my personal 2013, but I am going to be dedicating quite a lot of it to 2013 for Leeds United, and maybe a few other general stuff as well. So in the description below is going to be the time for people that just want to see the Leeds United part of that. There will be a little bit there that says what time you want to start it from, because I know some of you won't want to know about about my personal 2013. So there we go. So yeah, I'm going to start off with what 2013 has been like for me, and really it's probably been one of the worst years of my life, really, due to various reasons, really. I started, well, I ended 2012 in a relationship with someone who I've been with for over 6 years. I was doing, alright money wise. I had a possible decent job prospect coming up, maybe working on the railway, doing that through an apprenticeship. And everything was going along okay, really, and basically all of that managed to disappear during 2013. So I'm going to start off with the negatives, but then I'm going to end on the positives, because it's not all been bad. So I'm going to start off with something that well, the more regular viewers will be aware of, and something that I've realised that I have this year, and that's depression. And that's something I started with, well, I started to realise that I had it around probably April, May time, and something that was really diagnosed properly in June. And it was something that, although it made sense to me and was probably something I've been suffering with longer than I actually realised, it still came as quite a shock. And obviously it's not very nice to kind of have that label finally put on you, especially by a doctor. And I'm not going to go into complete details about it, but various things sort of throughout the past few years I felt sort of had added to it, but really I couldn't pinpoint anything directly. It's just one of those things that I'm having to put up with, and it's absolutely awful, really. I will get on to how I'm doing now in the positive side of things, because it's, like I say, it's not all bad, but for a good few months, especially sort of October time, was the lowest I've ever really felt and been in my life. You really do feel alone. You feel unmotivated. You just don't. You have absolutely no confidence in yourself whatsoever, and it really is a terrible illness. It is an illness, and that's something that, luckily at the moment, a lot of people seem to be addressing, and more people are becoming aware of it. So anyway, I was put on antidepressants that will have been July, I believe. So I've been on them for a little while now. So that was part one of the negatives of 2013, and really the worst bit. Second of all, the job prospect of the railway never really materialised. Again, due to various reasons. I'd finished the apprenticeship successfully, done all the qualifications I needed to do, and basically where I was basically told you will get a job after it, that never happened. I was messed about, sort of kicked from pillar to post from different companies and everything, and putting that in the same time as having a depression and everything else going on, it was just making everything a hell of a lot worse. I wasn't getting any money at the time, and after a few months of being completely messed about there, I needed to decide to move on. And through that time I haven't managed to get anything else either. Been going to the job centre regularly, go to a work coach, which is a separate thing, trying to find a job. So basically I spent the whole of 2013, although A good quarter of it was spent doing an apprenticeship, so you know, I felt I was, even though I wasn't earning any money then, I felt like I was sort of working in a way. But the rest of the time has just been trying to find work, and as many people out there know, it's an absolute ball ache. It is so difficult. I find myself in a position where certain companies and people feel me overqualified from the fact that I have a university degree, yet I have no experience because I haven't had any. Well, not any. I have had real jobs, but I haven't had many of them because of going to university, doing a lot of journalism stuff and a lot of voluntary stuff. It hasn't really given me a lot of experience and skills that I need. So I'm kind of caught just in the middle of this awkward situation, really. So that's number 2. Number 3 was the breakup of my relationship. Obviously, you know, I don't really want to go too much into this, but that was at the end of June when that happened. It wasn't anything to do with my depression. I don't want anyone thinking it was anything to do with that. It was, you know, really something that had been coming for a while. But still, you know, as anyone knows, having a breakup of especially a long-term relationship or any relationship where you're in love, it's not an easy thing to go through. Still something that is, I feel like I'm sort of moving on now and definitely getting over the worst of it. You know, it's been quite a few months since then. It wasn't made easy by the fact that she is with someone else. Now, don't want to say that's anything against her. You know, I'm happy that she is happy, obviously, but you know, it doesn't make it easy for me knowing that she has moved on while I'm still stuck here like this. So that hasn't really helped matters a lot. And then obviously with all that, I've been quite skint, really, relying on an overdraft and relying on obviously job centre money, which I absolutely hate doing. It's one of those things where you see people having to go at people on benefits and calling us scroungers and everything, and it's something I don't enjoy doing, but without it I just wouldn't be getting by at all. You know, I do still live at home with my parents, and obviously they help me out where they can, but I want to be trying independent as much as I can, but obviously not finding a job and being messed about with the apprenticeship and the railway thing has put me in not the greatest place money wise this year, so that's just added to everything. So that's really the majority of why this year's been such an absolute shitter for me, really. And it's definitely why I'm looking forward to 2014, and hopefully it's just a brand new start for me. And also, it's not being helped. Excuse me, it's not being helped. Literally just at the end of this year, in one day, two kind of close people to our family passed away. We got that news both in the same day. One was a neighbour who we'd known for a long time, and that was quite a sudden, very unexpected death. So obviously that was a bit of a shock, and you know, it makes you start to evaluate your life and living every day to the full and everything. And the other was a lovely lady who was a family friend for many years. Through my granddad, they were sort of best of friends, really, because my grandma had passed away before I was born, so she was sort of a girlfriend as such, a lady friend to my granddad, but she was an absolutely lovely woman, bless her, but she hadn't been too well for quite a while, so that was less of a shock, really, but still, you know, very sad to lose people close to you. So that just really caps off 2013 just perfectly there. So that's negatives, as I say, but there has been positives. It's not all been downbeat. Probably the most enjoyable part of this year was when I got to go back to Italy in April. That was around Easter time. So, was that April or was that the end of March? I can't even remember. but yeah, I got to go back to Italy for a second time, and that was really enjoyable. I absolutely love the country. It's such a beautiful place, such great people there, and as you'll see from some of the pictures that are coming up now, it's you can see why I love it so much. It was just a coach trip done through, is it National Coach or National Express? I can't remember what it is. And that was with my ex-partner at the time and her family. But it was fantastic from the fact that everyone on the coach. So obviously it's a very, very long journey, but everyone on the coach managed to get on, which was fantastic. You know, there's a great atmosphere on the coach, a lot of camaraderie there, which was lovely. You know, going out with drinks together and everything was fantastic. Getting to drive through the Swiss Alps was pretty amazing. That's definitely a first for me, but would be somewhere I'd love to go visit again. Again, you'll see from the pictures there, they're just absolutely stunning views. And the place in Italy were just, again, other place I'd wanted to see. My first trip to Italy was a couple of years ago, where I got to go to Sorrento and got to see the Amalfi Coast down there, Mount Vesuvius and Pompeii. Naples, the island of Capri and Ischia, just that's a gorgeous part. But on this coach trip, managed to go to Florence or Firenze, managed to go to Pisa, and obviously the Leaning Tower there, which is always something that, you know, such an iconic place in the world to visit. And Rome, of course, which such a massive place. I didn't quite realise how massive it was. Really, just to visit in one day on the coach trip was just wasn't long enough, really. Only managed to see a minuscule part of it, really. But you know, getting to drive past the Colosseum, getting to see the Vatican, the Pantheon, and you know, all places like that. Again, such iconic places that you see on the telly, and you always wish you could go visit. And yeah, it was just absolutely lovely. The little town we stayed in, Montecatini, was so lovely. It was this very typical Italian sort of town. Wasn't massive, but all the locals friendly. I love the friendliness of the Italians and how welcoming they are, and the laid back sort of attitude that they have. It's just, as you can tell by the way I'm constantly talking about, I just absolutely love it. So that was probably my highlight of my year. Another highlight has been you guys, YouTube. You know, you've helped me get through some tough times, like I say, with the depression and everything. You've heard me waffle on about so many different things, yet you still keep on tuning in and keep watching me, which I'm so grateful for. It's really, really nice, and the fact that you do keep watching and subscribing is why I keep making videos like this. I think I started the year on, I think it was maybe 20 subscribers, if that, and I'm finishing the year on, I think I'm on 175 at the moment, so I can't see that going up in a day. I am recording this the day before New Year's Eve, even though this is going up on New Year's Eve. So yeah, unless subscribers go up, then I'm finishing it on 175, which is fantastic, really. For just a little channel, and for a guy waffling on into a camera about sports and myself, and it's really enjoyable. I've got my regulars which keep tuning in and talking to me, which is really lovely, and getting to know you guys through YouTube and also through Twitter. It's always really nice to talk, and that's the whole point of why I'm doing this, really. You know, debating certain issues with people and just talking and getting opinions across it. So it really is fantastic. So that's been a big plus point of this year. A very specific one was seeing the comedian and ventriloquist Nina Conti at Leeds City Varieties. That was that November? No, that was October. Beginning of October. That was really great. She's someone who I've watched and sort of admired for quite a few years now. Having watched her on various TV programmes, seen her own movie that she made, sort of a documentary movie, Her Master's Voice, which I if any of you have not seen that, but are fans of Nina Conti, then I urge you to go watch that, because it's a piece of brilliance, really. It's fantastic stuff. So, you know, getting to see her live and getting to see the old favourites, you know, the Nan puppet and Monk, obviously. Getting to see those was fantastic, and also seeing some of the new puppets and new acts, which was really good. I mean, she's so funny, she's so quick-witted. You know, the interaction with the audience is just no idea how she can be so quick with some of the things she says. And you know, she's just very clever as well. I mean, the show in general is called Dolly Mixtures. I think it's going on into next year. I'm not 100% sure about that. But if you do have a chance to go see her with that show, then definitely do it, because it really is fantastic, and you come out feeling quite uplifted after seeing it. So that was another highlight. And just to finish off, is controlling my depression, actually. So although that's been a major down point of this year, obviously, it is something that, speaking now at the end of 2013, I do feel fairly in control of, and I feel like I am in a slightly better place through the tablets that I have. The dosage of those were upped in the start of November or the middle of November, and up until that point I wasn't too sure whether it was working or not, and I was maybe having 1 or 2 good days within a week, whereas the rest were pretty much well, forgettable, really, write-offs. Whereas now, most days, maybe 1 day out of the week, I might feel a bit down, but generally speaking, I feel so much better now, and I feel like I can control my emotions. I know sort of certain triggers to avoid. Like I say, you know, I think I'm finally moving on through the breakup of my relationship. You know, I feel happy to be moving on, and hopefully in the new year it would be lovely to meet someone new. That isn't a personal request to any of my viewers, by the way, but you know, if anyone fancies it, then you know where I am. Joking, of course. So just in general, I feel so much better, and I feel sort of ready and set to go into 2014, and really just have a brand new beginning for myself. Also on the job front, I've got a possible interview coming up, which is in early New Year, at a local furniture shop, which I know it doesn't sound much, but it's a job that I feel I would enjoy doing. But obviously I'm not holding any hopes on it or anything, because it is just an interview, but it's better than what I've been getting recently, so I'm feeling pretty up on that. So that's been my 2013. More downs than ups, really, but hopefully that's just giving all of you guys a little insight to what my year's been. So let me know how your year's been. Maybe try sum it up in, I don't know, say 50 words or something. I'll just try and sum it up as quickly as you can, and let me know what your year's been like and your ups and downs. So yeah, that's the personal side of things. So welcome the Leeds United fans that decided to miss out the first 18 minutes of this video, and let's talk about Leeds United's year. I think really in general it's been a positive one. Obviously the start of the year it was GFH were taking over. Bates was still around, which kept things quite low key and quite down. The team weren't performing at all on the pitch. There was Neil Warnock's pretty prehistoric tactics, really, and it was just a very doom and gloom place to be at Ellen Road, and just not very enjoyable at all. And it was just one of those seasons that we just wanted to get done and out of the way. But it was also one where we started to fear relegation, really. It had gone so downhill. And whilst I was actually away in Italy was when we lost to Derby, and it was of course announced that Neil Warnock was getting the sack. Then of course Brian McDermott came along, and he saved us, really saved us from relegation. Got the results that we needed at the end of that season. And just that in itself sort of brought a better mood around the place. Obviously, Ken Bates disappeared completely from the club. So he was going to be president, of course, but GFH effectively sacked him from that role, which everyone was so happy about. It was something that just didn't need to be done. And you know, the real cancer of the club needed to be gotten rid of. So that's when all the positivity really started. We had a pretty decent pre-season. Started signing some players, of course. Noel Hunt, which was one of the worst kept secrets in football. He was one of the signings. Obviously, it's not turned out as how we'd hoped, really. But hopefully, something that will improve there if he does get back in the team. Luke Murphy, of course, who was our first £1 million signing in God knows how many years. I can't remember what it was now. But you know, a young player from League One with Crewe, and you know, it was good to we'd beaten another Championship club in Blackburn to his signing. We were going after talented young players, which is something that we hadn't done for a little while, and the fact that we had paid big money for a player for once, so things were really starting to look up. And as I say, that pre-season, it was just a lot of positivity around the place. You could sense a more together feeling about the fans, and I mean, I went to the Farza game, which was just a lovely atmosphere. It was a fantastic atmosphere. You know, everyone seemed quite happy. People getting on with the players. A lot of banter flying about. And I'd say it was just that, you know, over the past few years, it's been such a desperate time at the club, and especially sort of the first part of this year, and really just at the 2012-13 season, as I've said many times before, was one of the most depressing, really, and one of the worst seasons being a Leeds fan for me anyway, because everyone just at the club, there was no togetherness there. Everyone was there was inside fighting and stuff like that, but you could tell just from the pre-season that there was going to be something different about this year. And I mean, it couldn't have got off to a better start this season. I mean, that 2-1 victory to Brighton in front of, was it 35,000 at Ellen Road? I mean, it was fantastic to see the place full like that again. Fantastic atmosphere. And I mean, there's no better way of winning a game than a last second goal like that from Luke Murphy. I mean, it was just the perfect start to the season, and it was good to see us scrapping a result out, which has been something we've been doing a lot more this year, and something we haven't been used to. You know, if games were 0-0 or 1-0 to the opposition or something, you'd see us sort of give up, really. Whereas this season, you don't get that feeling. You know, if we do go one goal down, you always get that feeling that we're likely to get back in the game or go on to get a last minute win or something like that, which, like I say, is something we're not used to, and it's really great to see. Some of the high points, really, the Newcastle away game, you know, 6,000 Leeds fans up in the gods at St James's Park was one of the best away atmospheres I think I've ever experienced. Obviously the game was disappointing, but you know, none of us were expecting to win that match, really, and just the atmosphere really was top class. The 11-minute tribute to Gary Speed was really something special, and something I think everyone who was there that night will never forget, really. You know, I think the 4-0 win at home to Birmingham was really the first game this season that we'd really dominated a game and, you know, fully deserved a comprehensive victory, really. It was, you know, Birmingham were very poor on the day, but, you know, we played some fantastic stuff. And that day in particular, it was good to see Matt Smith get a double, because he had, especially around that time, he was having a lot of critics, which is still about. But for him to get 2 goals there was really enjoyable. And one for me personally, the 4-2 win away at Charlton. was a brilliant away day. It had so many different parts to it and elements. The fact of, you know, the long journey down to London, obviously the early start, actually getting there and getting lost going on the way to the ground with our little coach load, then getting to the ground and not knowing if the game was going to be on, getting absolutely pissed, soaked wet through, and then obviously finally finding out it was going to be on, getting into the ground, and then, you know, it wasn't the most skillful match that you're ever going to see, but it was one of the most entertaining I've seen for a long time. And, you know, to see Ross get those 4 goals was just one of those moments where you just have to admire his skill, really. And that last minute, you know, 4th goal, that free kick that just came from nowhere, it was just fantastic, and just one of those away days where you find yourself hugging random strangers, you know, people that you'd never met before, and just a really happy feeling about the place. And again, it just kind of summed up the feeling this year. I mean, look, we're finishing the year in 7th place, which I don't think any of us were really expecting. Because, you know, it's been a positive year, but, you know, we've still got a squad that isn't really good enough, and we all know that leading into the new year and the transfer window, we need a lot of changes if we want to seriously compete. But everything's there for us to be a successful club again. I mean, we see the work that GFH are doing off the field. You know, there's the possibility of new investment coming in. That's been led by David Haig, and just the way they're dealing with things. I mean, you know, reduced ticket prices, different ticketing schemes, just getting the fans involved in the club again and making it feel like it is our club. You know, Ken Bates had totally ripped that apart from us. We didn't feel any part of our club, and, you know, we do feel that again. Just the little tiny things, the little offers, the little deals in the club store. You know, the giving back of the season ticket money at the last game and giving out those gifts. It's just, you know, the foundations are definitely there. We've had the signings of, you know, young players' contracts. You know, Alex Mowat has signed a new contract. Also, we managed to get Ross McCormack to sign a new contract, which was something we desperately needed to do. And just other youngsters, you know, signing professional contracts. You know, the foundations are there. You know, have a decent transfer window, get a squad that is good enough to challenge for promotion, one that is worthy of going into the Premiership and actually being able to compete properly there. And, you know, we're not too far off, and I don't think there's too much to be negative about at our club anymore. And you know, I'm really happy with how, especially the second half of 2013 has definitely gone for us. So I don't think there's really too much more to add to that. So I want you guys to let me know what you think of 2013 for Leeds United. Again, sort of try and sum it up in the comments below, or on my Twitter page if you can. And yeah, just let me know your highlights of the year. Whether it be, I can't imagine too many from the back end of last season, but especially this season. Let me know what your highlights have been, or what your lowlights have been, and what you're looking forward to in the coming season, in the coming year. And also let me know, as I did say in my last video, of, you know, possible transfer targets, people you'd be interested to realistically see Leeds United bring in, and just in general, let me know your thoughts. Those that did watch the first half of the video, again, let me know how your year's been, and what you're looking forward to in 2014. So yes, that's my 2013 review of my life and of Leeds United, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed doing it. I'll just have to say, obviously, a massive thank you to everyone, to all of my subscribers, people that regularly get in touch with me, people on Twitter who also watch my videos, and all my followers on there. You know, thank you so much for getting me through certain points this year which have been quite difficult, and just generally supporting me through my YouTube channel. It really is fantastic, and let's hope for more of this in 2014. So I wish you all a very, very happy new year. I hope you have a fantastic time tonight, and don't get too drunk, or do get too drunk, one of the two. Anyway guys, have a good new year, and I will see you all very soon.